Welcome to an overview of the Florida Main Street Program, which is preserving communities throughout Florida. This presentation is presented by the Friends of Florida Main Street, a citizen support organization supporting downtowns together. Traditional downtowns and districts have lost their importance in the community with the development of suburbs, shopping malls, and strip retail development. The Florida Main Street Program works with designated Florida Main Streets to bring the focus of the community back to traditional downtowns and districts. This improves where you live, keeps local businesses, and increases local revenue, which enhances the overall quality of life in your community. The Main Street mission is to encourage economic development within the context of historic preservation in ways appropriate to today's marketplace. Preserving buildings rich with the history of our towns is a cornerstone of the Florida Main Street Program and keeps community character. The Main Street philosophy advocates local empowerment to revitalize traditional commercial districts based on their unique assets. Main Street districts have unique architecture, a pedestrian-friendly environment, offer personal service, have locally owned businesses, and a sense of community. These assets are the core of Main Street revitalization. The Main Street program is throughout the United States and has been successful for more than 30 years, starting nationally in 1984. The Florida Main Street program began a year later to preserve traditional downtowns and small towns throughout the state. By 1990, the program was located in 31 states and 600 communities nationwide. Florida Main Street was expanded to include traditional districts in urban areas in 1996, and today can be found in many Florida towns and cities. Volunteers are the backbone of Main Street and are vital to a successful local program. Each local program sets its own goals and determines the projects and events that are needed to improve their Main Street. These projects and events need the assistance of numerous volunteers to make them happen from the planning stage to implementation. The success of your Main Street program is determined by the effort of your volunteers. Your local Main Street board consists of a president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and directors. A majority of directors should own property, businesses, or work or reside within your Main Street boundaries. The number of directors is determined by your community and usually ranges from 3 to 10 individuals. Board members must volunteer to participate in projects and events outside of board meetings. Funding is important to the stability and vitality of your local program and can come from various sources, including sponsorships, memberships, special event revenue, grants, in-kind support, and government sources. Creativity in raising money and finding diverse revenue sources will assure that your Main Street organization will be able to financially survive. The organizational structure of your local program consists of the board receiving recommendations and input from the Main Street committees and the community at large. The board uses this information to implement their work program as carried out by the Main Street manager and office staff and volunteers. The board, and specifically the president, oversees the Main Street manager and associated activities. The functional structure of your local program puts the Main Street manager at the center of all activities and the coordinator of daily operations. The manager is a paid employee of your local program with regular office hours in your Main Street district who is responsible for interacting with board members, Main Street committees, investors, businesses, residents, and other various groups on a daily basis. The Main Street manager is a key to the implementation of your local program by implementing policy set by the board, directing the Main Street daily operations, overseeing office staff and volunteers, assisting in fundraising, assisting the Main Street committees, administering contracts, and working on other items as necessary with your Main Street program. Your manager should not be responsible for finding operational funding of your program. A Main Street approach is the structure that defines the management of your local program. There are 4 committees that work together under the board to comprehensively address issues in your Main Street. The Organization Committee builds public support. The Economic Restructuring Committee creates and maintains business growth. The Design Committee enhances the physical appearance of your district. And the Promotion Committee markets your Main Street. The Organization Committee has many responsibilities, the 2 most important being fundraising and attracting volunteers. Other responsibilities include increasing membership, attracting sponsorships, preparing budgets, maintaining bylaws, producing newsletters, and recognizing accomplishments with awards. Finally, community outreach. There are 3 primary goals for the Organization Committee, starting with community involvement. Your Main Street should involve as many people as possible in various capacities. Secondly, your program should have the goal of being a well-managed program, allowing a strong foundation to accomplish the goals of Main Street. Finally, the goal of community education provides awareness and enthusiasm about Main Street. Your Main Street program is more likely to be supported if people understand its purpose. The key to success for the Organization Committee is recruiting volunteers and obtaining financial support for your Main Street program. The Promotion Committee is important to publicizing what your Main Street has to offer. Projects include producing special events, marketing materials, branding your Main Street through advertising, creating and maintaining a website as well as social media presence, and giving presentations to your community. The first goal of the Promotions Committee is to increase customer traffic. You must make people want to visit your Main Street through marketing efforts. The second goal is to create a destination district with events, activities, and sales promotions that draw people to your Main Street, especially those who haven't visited. The key to success for the Promotions Committee is creating a marketing program and special events within your Main Street district. The Design Committee is tasked with enhancing the physical appearance of your Main Street district through streetscape projects, facade improvement assistance, beautification projects, cleanups, and architectural surveys. Your Main Street's appearance is very important to having a successful district. Historic preservation is the primary goal of your Main Street organization and the Design Committee. Preserving history provides a sense of place and increases tourism. The second goal of the Design Committee is facade improvement. Attractive storefronts welcome customers inside businesses and increase drop-in traffic. Studies show that customer traffic increases with welcoming and well-maintained buildings. Finally, the third goal is overall beautification of your Main Street by having a clean, well-maintained street with decorative planters, street furniture, and landscaping. A pleasant atmosphere provides evidence of a community that cares and is also inviting to customers. The key to success for the Design Committee is promoting an attractive district. The Economic Restructuring Committee spearheads efforts for economic development within your Main Street, coming up with financial incentives, recruiting investment, conducting business surveys, compiling property information, providing business workshops, and addressing all other economic issues. Occupancy of all buildings within your Main Street area is very important to having a successful district. Economic restructuring has two goals: business attraction and business retention. With business attraction, be sure that your Main Street is attracting businesses that your community will support. Also provide information and data that markets your district and makes it easy for businesses to choose your Main Street. Business retention is keeping businesses that currently exist in your district. Retaining businesses is easier than attracting businesses. The key to success for the Economic Restructuring Committee is retaining and recruiting desired businesses. All of the committees work together to make your Main Street program successful. The following scenario is an example of the importance of each committee. The Promotions Committee holds a special event that is attended by a restaurant owner. The restaurant owner not only enjoys the event, but the ambiance of the district created by the Design Committee. The restaurant owner decides to research a location in the district and uses information compiled by the Economic Restructuring Committee. The owner locates a restaurant in the district and becomes a major district sponsor after being approached by the organization committee. Russell Thomas, the former mayor of Americus, Georgia, summarizes the community-driven Main Street program with the following quote: "For the longest time, we all waited for a white knight to ride into town and fix the problem. But the Main Street people made us realize that the only way to get it done right was to do it ourselves." The Florida Main Street program has been administered by the state of Florida since 1985 through the Bureau of Historic Preservation, Division of Historical Resources, Florida Department of State. The Bureau conducts programs identifying, evaluating, and preserving Florida's historic resources. Main Street's emphasis is preservation, which is effective in achieving these goals. For more information, contact the Florida Main Street program as listed. The Friends of Florida Main Street is a citizen support organization to enhance and perpetuate the program offered by Florida Main Street. To fulfill this mission, Friends of Florida Main Street assists and advises the program with sponsorships, scholarships, grants, historic preservation, and promotion. This presentation has been created by volunteers from the Friends of Florida Main Street, Friends of Florida Main Street, supporting downtowns together. Thank you for supporting your local Main Street program, as well as Main Streets across the state of Florida.